Today, our topic is death with dignity. Supporters of physician-assisted dying argue for dignity and autonomy for people who are seriously ill. Indeed, many people believe that death with dignity means the right to assisted dying. But, in the fight for physician-assisted dying, the broader meaning of dignity has become obscured. In fact, there are many ways to preserve human dignity that have been neglected by the public and the media. First, we want to ask the question, what are dignity and autonomy? Dignity, derived from the Latin word dignitas, means worthiness. There are different kinds of dignity. Basic human dignity refers to the inherent or intrinsic value of all individuals. And it's different from social dignity, which refers to being recognized and respected by others. Finally, there is personal dignity, which refers to how self-worth is subjectively experienced. The term autonomy, derived from the Greek word auto, meaning self, and nomos, that is custom or law. It refers to our ability to determine our values, desires, and preferences. In Western cultures, autonomy is associated with the sense of control, freedom, and independence, whereas other cultures may understand autonomy differently and may put more emphasis on the relationship with family and community. Assisted dying is seen as a way to preserve personal autonomy because it allows individuals to exercise greater control over the timing of their own death. But the loss of autonomy and the threat to dignity are often inevitable with aging, disability, and proximity to death. But the fact that we need others to care for us doesn't necessarily mean that we become undignified. It simply means that we are human. In fact, when we face a serious illness, we may need to give up a bit of our autonomy and focus on our relationships with others. In research, when patients and family are asked what dignity means, they mention many dimensions unrelated to the right to control the circumstances of dying. The different ways to sustain dignity include being free from physical or psychological distress, having respect for self and others, having meaningful relationships, receiving limited invasive interventions, having spiritual satisfaction, and finding meaning in life. However, in the debate on assisted dying, these other ways to preserve dignity have been drowned out by the call for autonomy or the right to control the timing of our death. There are indeed more than one way to uphold personal dignity and to help people tolerate the loss of autonomy in the face of sickness and death. These include having empathetic relationships with personal or professional caregivers, early access to palliative care for pain and symptom control, access to brief and personalized psychotherapies. Finally, the deliberate ending of life is not the only way to sustain dignity in this circumstance. Therefore, when faced with disability and mortality, it is important to remember that relationships or connections are as important as having control, and it is important to know that ending their life when they are terminally ill is not the only way to sustain dignity.